times to the plate, but I felt good with the matchups that we had at the end. We just didn't get it done. So, I was not going to bunt. Just the way that thing's going, I was not going to give up and out on that because that kid's breaking ball, was pretty good. So I wanted to take a shot with the left-handers on that. But I honestly, I felt pretty good, getting that leadoff guy on with the lefties we had coming up in Tolman and Workman, and just couldn't move baseball.
With this lineup, I know you take it case by case, but is your strategy usually going to be you're going to trust your guys to make things happen, swing the bat, instead of trying to do small ball stuff and move guys over when you get them on?
I mean, you look at, who would you rather, you're always weighing that out, who would you rather have swing the bat versus that matchup, and, that breaking ball, you're holding the runner on, you got left-handed hitters up, the breaking ball's coming into the barrel, so if you pull a ground ball there, that's probably as good as a bunt, if not better. You're probably first or third, so, it's a percentage play and it's a field play. We just, we didn't move the baseball, and, I thought they were the beneficiary, and I'll say it, I'm sick and tired of going back and looking at stuff post-game. The beneficiary is questionable borderline strikes, and we aren't. And it cost us tonight, didn't cost them. And when you're playing two evenly matched teams like that, sometimes that can be the difference. And so, I'm not, we take no satisfaction in playing them close. That's whatever. We played well tonight, they played well tonight, they won. But I thought we made pitches when we needed to. They made pitches when we needed to, and it was a good baseball game. It was lost.
Did that, from where you were sitting to the one that Gage got, that look?
Well, I'll just say this: there's technology that we have in our stadium. We don't look at it. We look at it post game, and I don't question too much in game. And the guys will come back and they'll say something, but when you look at it afterwards, they're right.
It's kind of the way they were playing and just hanging in there. There were only 2 extra base hits. This game kind of feels scrappy throughout.
Yeah, we felt like if this is going to happen, if you look at the ERAs of the guys that are running out there, it's going to be one of those you're just going to have to grind it out, hang in there, maybe get a break here or there, and I think the break of the game is not getting the strikeout and the guy hits the double, and just stuff like that in a game like this ultimately ended up being the difference. But we played well. We had our chances. We just didn't get it done.
When you say catch a break, is that kind of why it was so important for you to keep doing the pinch runners? Because hey, if something comes, we need to be prepared.
Well, it was you look at, I think, in the situations we had Sam. You kind of let that inning to see if Haber with 1 out, hits a gapper or something. You still have a runner at third with 1 out. You move the baseball to score, but when you get it down to 2, we'd be kicking ourselves if someone pops a double there and Sam doesn't score, because we're still chasing runs there. So you worry about the defensive stuff secondary. And so we're making moves based on the personnel, based on the score, based on the number of outs, and based on how much time is left in the game. And there's not really anything that I can think of that we would have done differently other than it's been nice to stick in a hit or two, but that's baseball.
Does the same calculation go when you take Lyle out, knowing maybe down in the 9th he would come up again in the order?
But you're looking, if you look at the way that game is going, base runners were few and far between. I think we had 3 innings to play. We're chasing a run, and the mindset there is, no disrespect to Lyle, but Lyle is probably one of the slowest people in that game right there, and so you get a leadoff guy on there. We're trying anything to get that second run to tie the baseball game with 9 outs to go. So like I said, there's no sense in holding dudes back if you're still chasing. You'd be kicking yourself if you hit a double or you get a base hit and Lyle gets thrown out or whatever. And clearly a Dusty Garcia would score easily. So again, I wouldn't do any of those moves any differently. We just didn't get the hit.
Well, and then earlier in the game, Lyle got to second, but he should. you know, by all rights, he should have been out there,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you know, and that's the, yeah, I mean, that, honestly, we probably shouldn't have scored that in, you know, because I think that would have been the second out, Workman's ground ball, so it's, you know, better decision on that. I thought he swung the bat really, really well tonight. I think he and Trevor were seeing it well, but that type of stuff, we got lucky. I agree with you. I mean, you can't make those types of base running mistakes in a game like that. We got lucky, so.
You said yesterday you thought Marsh would bounce back, and of course he did, so.
It was good, you know, that's a shame, but, you know, so's their guy, so that's how it goes sometimes. But no, he did his job. He comes out of there, pitches, you know, 7+ and, you know, gives up 3, but I would say he probably even pitched better than what that would indicate. But he did his job tonight, we just didn't get it done for him offensively, and part of that was our doing, but part of it was what they were doing on the other side too.
Seems like with all the best teams on your schedule so far, you guys have been in games, but you're not winning them as much as you.
Well, that's, yeah, it gets old. I mean, that's what I say, it gets old. I'm saying we take no, you know, we played well. I mean, you know, that's one of those where you're kind of searching on, okay, what do you say? You know, well, wasn't like we weren't trying, wasn't like we pitched it poorly, wasn't like we kicked the ball all over the diamond. Those guys, if I don't know where they are, Jeremy, but they're up there in the country, if not leading the country in the ERA. You know, so you know you're going to have a tough challenge. So I thought we played well. You drop another hit in there, maybe, you know, maybe my face is a little different right now. So that's just the way baseball is. And sometimes it's not what you're doing, it's just that somebody's doing a little bit better. And I'd say they were a little bit better in their execution tonight.
So is that the area you look at is you guys have to improve to win these kind of games, is coming through with some of those
Well,
key hits?
I would say it's cut the strikeouts down. I mean, I think we made adjustments, but we made adjustments too late. And, you know, by my logic, if you put more balls in play, you have a lot more chance of, you know, getting a base hit. So, you know, I was disappointed there kind of at the end. You know, we take a walk there as opposed to, you know, trying to be the hero. And I don't fault him, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but it's like those types of things we can improve on. Understanding that a walk and moving a guy into scoring position is probably just as good as swinging from your heels right there, 3-1. And, you know, but these are young guys. They're going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to learn. So as long as we learn from that, you know, as tough as it is, you know, hopefully the next time we're in that situation, we'll understand that.
Can the same thing apply to the last 2 strikeouts where they went down looking instead of maybe trying to go after them with 2 strikes?
Which one? Well, again, I go to Workman's. I mean, you know, we've looked at it. It was a ball, so I don't. You know, what am I going to say to him? Hey, man, you're doing what we teach you to do. Don't swing at balls. So that's kind of what I'm saying. You know, some of the borderline calls we're just not getting right. And when you're in a game like that, that's going to happen. And their umpires are human. It just seems like they're a little bit human more on the other side right now. They said we're 9, so. Again, it didn't come down to them, but it's just when you're in a tight baseball game, you're facing good competition, you know, it can be those smaller things. I thought Gage's bat was fine, you know, probably should have walked there, which is in that situation would have been huge. You know, told him, yeah, he didn't have a good at bat, but that's a young hitter that's still, you know, developing at this level. So we'll regroup and get after it tomorrow.
Thanks, Skip.
Thank you.